In the bustling city of Port Harcourt, nestled in the south-south region of Nigeria, lived a man named Emeka. Despite his qualifications and relentless job search, Emeka had been unemployed for over a year. His days were filled with endless applications and interviews that led nowhere, leaving him disheartened and desperate. He was squatting with his old schoolmate who was doing wonderfully well in life with a happy family. Due to his unemployed status, he has been subjected to radicals and turned to a slave in his friend's house. One humid afternoon, after a failed interview coupled with stress and thinking of what he would face when he get to his friend's house, Emeka decided to take a walk along the Bonny River to clear his mind and let out his frustration to the nature. As he strolled by the water's edge, he noticed something unusual, a beautiful, intricately designed bracelet lying half buried in the sand. Curious, he picked it up and examined it closely. It shimmered in the sunlight, unlike anything he had ever seen. Suddenly, the water beside him began to ripple, and a figure emerged. It was a woman, but not just any woman. She had an ethereal glow, and her presence was both mesmerizing and otherworldly. Emeka realized he was in the presence of a marine spirit, known locally as a mummy water. "Thank you for finding my bracelet," she said in a voice that sounded like the gentle lapping of waves. "I am Edeora, a guardian of these waters. You have done me a great favor. Have been searching for my bracelet since yesterday evening. I came out to enjoy the cool breeze on the shore. Without my bracelet, I would lose my status as a guardian and also be banished from our beautiful kingdom, and I wish to repay your kindness," she said. Emeka, though initially startled, felt a sense of calm wash over him. He explained his situation, how he had been struggling to find a job and support his family. Edeora listened intently, her eyes filled with compassion. "Your kindness will not go unrewarded," she said. "Return home and prepare yourself for a change. Your fortunes are about to turn." Skeptical but hopeful, Emeka thanked Edeora and made his way back home. The next morning, he received an unexpected phone call. It was from a multinational oil company, one of the largest in the region. They had reviewed his application and wanted to offer him a position as a project manager, a high-profile job with an excellent salary and benefits. Emeka could hardly believe his ears. He accepted the offer and soon found himself thriving in his new role. His financial situation improved dramatically, allowing him to provide for his family and even give back to his community. He got married to a beautiful woman and had a wonderful family. During Emeka's rise to affluence, his family enjoyed a comfortable and prosperous life. They had access to the best education, healthcare, and lived in a beautiful home. Emeka's wife and children were proud of his success and the positive impact he had on their community. One evening, as he sat by the river, reflecting on his incredible change of fortune, he felt a familiar presence. Edeora appeared once more, her smile radiant. "Remember, Emeka," she said, "kindness and integrity will always be rewarded. Continue to live with a good heart, and you will prosper," and she gave him some rules to follow with gratitude in his heart. Emeka thanked Edeora once again. He knew that his encounter with the marine spirit had changed his life forever, and he vowed to honor her gift by living a life of generosity and compassion. Emeka's life of affluence continued for many years. He became a well-respected figure in his community, known for his generosity and integrity. However, as time passed, Emeka began to forget the rules given to him by Edeora, the mummy water. He became more focused on his wealth and status, and less on the values that had brought him success. However, as Emeka's focus shifted towards wealth and status, the harmony within his family began to wane. His long hours and increasing preoccupation with business left little time for his loved ones. His wife, Nkechi, noticed the change and often felt neglected, while his children missed the attentive and loving father they once knew. One fateful day, Emeka made a decision that would change everything. He was approached by a group of shady businessmen who proposed a lucrative deal that involved exploiting the natural resources of the Bonny River. Despite knowing the potential harm it could cause to the environment and the local community, Emeka agreed, driven by the promise of even greater wealth and affluence. As the project began, the once pristine waters of the Bonny River became polluted, and the local wildlife suffered. The community, which had once looked up to Emeka, now viewed him with disdain. Emeka's health began to deteriorate, and his business ventures started to fail. It seemed as though a dark cloud had settled over his life. When Emeka's business ventures started to fail and his health deteriorated, the strain on his family grew. The financial instability and the community's disdain for Emeka's actions added to their stress. Despite these challenges, Nkechi remained supportive, urging Emeka to remember the values that had once guided him. One evening, as Emeka sat by the now polluted river crying and pleading to the river over his mistakes and missteps, he felt a familiar presence. Edeora appeared, her once radiant smile replaced by a look of sorrow and disappointment. "Emeka," she said, her voice heavy with sadness, "you have violated the sacred trust between us. Your actions have brought harm to the very waters that once blessed you. The consequences of your choices are now upon you." Emeka fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "Edeora, I am truly sorry. I have lost my way and forgotten the values you taught me. Please, help me make things right." Edeora's expression softened slightly. "Redemption is possible, Emeka, but it will not be easy. You must work to restore the balance you have disrupted. You must be ready to sacrifice and sweat day and night to clean up the river, restore balance to the homes of these creatures in the river your action had disrupted, help the community, and live with the integrity and honesty you once had." Determined to make amends, Emeka dedicated himself to cleaning the Bonny River and repairing the damage he had caused. He invested his remaining resources into environmental projects and community development. Slowly but surely, the river began to heal, and the community started to forgive him. Though Emeka's wealth returned to its former glory, he found a deeper sense of fulfillment in his efforts to right his wrongs. Edeora visited him one last time, her smile restored. "You have learned a valuable lesson, Emeka," she said. "True prosperity comes not from wealth, but from living a life of kindness and integrity. Continue on this path, and you will find peace." Emeka nodded, filled with gratitude. He knew that his encounter with Edeora had changed his life forever, and he vowed to honor her gift by living a generosity and compassion, no matter the cost.